Hey everyone, this is Jake, and today we are going to be talking about the new Awakening unit that's coming to Clover, Iseon, the Ace of Wings. And she is one of the best Awakening units when it comes to PvP contents, and she got some decent usage with the PvE as well, so we'll go into video and talk about those aspects with her. But I just want to mention that she is one of the OG units of the game, I would say, and her Awakening version was pretty hyped when it came out around that time. I still remember it. And I gotta say, she never got any buffs, and she is still used to this date within Korean server, and she does get banned throughout the PvP matches. So that already should tell you how good she is when it comes to PvP. So just keep that in mind as you watch through the video. So main thing she has is that she is able to counter pretty much all existing area units. Now there are some other ways to kind of trying to bait her out and trying to counter her here and there as well. But generally when she's fighting against area units, she will most likely going to be winning every single battle unless you are doing kind of mirror match and you're fighting against the other side's Iseon. So she is that good against the area units, because she gets a lot of damage boost, and as she enters to the battlefield with her passive skill, she is able to deal a huge amount of damage to enemies' aerial units. So you have to keep in mind whenever you throw out the aerial units now within PvP that Iseon enters in, and most likely you will find your aerial units dead or on really low HP. So Iseon just exists to melt all the aerial units, and she just gets the job done pretty perfectly. But when it comes to PvE contents, there is not really an aerial enemies that you really have to worry about. So most of cases throughout the PvE contents, that passive skill is pretty much still the way. So when you're trying to use her within PvE contents, you'll probably find her isn't really strong for the 5 cost ranger units, and you will find other area units much better when it comes to DPS. So you could kind of say she is mostly for PvP character. And let's talk about gear setup, and as usual, we got the Maze cooldown set. This is one of the best sets for all the counter units, DPS, order, whatnot. So this is the set that you want to run in most of the time. But with the Shadow Hall updates coming out very soon after this update, yes, so Shadow Hall gears are going to be one of the best gears that you can use on her, and not to mention her entrance damage is pretty big. But with the right setup, you can melt down pretty much all area units right now, and more units that will be coming out in the future. So Shadow Hall gear is incredibly strong on her, and you should really consider using that as well if you just want to delete the enemies pretty quick as she enters into the battlefield. Now when it comes to PvE contents, there are pretty much no real aerial boss right now that exists within the game. There are some stages with the very strong aerial units or some kind of object that you kind of have to destroy. So within the Relic Challenge dungeon, where you have to farm the material to upgrade your self-equipment slots, gears to T7, yes, you can clear this dungeon really reliably with the Iseon, because Iseon will do very strong damage as she enters into this like floating objects, and she is also tanky enough to take the hits from the enemies, so she is able to survive, and the barrier and damage resistance she gets afterward will help her to tank even more. So Iseon is really good in this stage, and this is definitely one of the best auto farm team that you can use to clear this dungeon. So when it comes to this kind of really challenging stage, yes, Iseon is going to be there to carry your ass, and she just gets the job done perfectly. Of course, there's other aerial units that do damage here as well, but I think Iseon, Lozaria, Ridimilla, this 3 combo is definitely one of the best. She also has other 2 spots that she could be used throughout the PvE contents. First one is Consume Raid boss, and that boss summons this annoying flying enemies to the left side of the map, and placing Iseon at the left side of the map where your ship is at, it should be able to take down those enemies very nicely, and she is also tanky enough, so she should be able to tank the hit from the boss and able to survive and do more damage. So she is really good 5-cost units to throw in. So she's really good 5-cost units to throw in into your team when you're taking down the raid boss. And also another really nice place she could be used is within Danger Close. There are certain bosses with a certain buff and certain weak. It rotates, but she should be pretty good against this boss. But if you ask me, I'll give you my honest answer. If you are caring more about PvE contents, yes, Relic Challenge stage is going to be really important, but if you are close to the pity, I really would recommend you to kind of save up your pity counts and let it go to other banner and pity those characters first, and come back to Yusun banner when they rerun it and try again around that time. Or if you can't wait long enough, maybe you wait until Selector come out during the anniversary time and such. So just don't really try to push yourself too much unless you are a PvP player. So let's talk about her within PvP, and I gotta say, she is definitely one of the best Awakening units when it comes to PvP content. She is the ultimate anti-air counter units, and she is just able to delete them all with her entrance damage, doing a huge amount of AoE damage, and follow-up skill with her special skill, she is able to do very good damage against them as well. And after casting that special skill, she'll be getting huge barriers on herself, and she'll be also getting 30% damage resistance. So she is now tanky and taking some hits and doing additional damage to the ground units and such, and move forward. And when she survives long enough, she's going to shoot the laser beam, which does pretty good damage. Now I gotta say, after Defenders got this MDL patch in Korean server, she definitely got a lot less useful. This is what you have right now. So as more Defenders comes out, her laser beam aspects with her ultimate skills and such against her ground units, it's not going to be the best. There are a couple more really strong to OP area units that's going to be coming out in the future. Isun is there to just counter them very easily. So what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is, if you pull Isun right now, if you care about PvP, you will use her for at least 2 years, in my opinion, for global server, and we'll see what happens after that. Like I said, she has been good in Korean server for 2 years, so I don't think it'll be any less within the global server. She'll be dominating the fight against the aerial units, and if you don't have her and trying to use the aerial units during the week when she's not banned, you are going to pay for it, and you will be feeling like, holy crap, she's just like doing laser beam and just zapping all my aerial units. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think I could explain much as I could when it comes to Isun, the Ace of Wings. She is really cool looking character, and her skin is absolutely amazing. But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is Jake. I will see you guys next time. Take care.